Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to watch this video. I'm going to do it as quickly as I can. In the bottom right hand corner is a 2x times speed, so you can actually make me talk even faster. And like I said, I'm excited to talk to you. I apologize in advance. You've been getting some messages saying I will ban you if you don't show up. That is true, but I don't mean it to be as aggressive as it sounds. It's just I've been getting a lot of trolls or people who just book me but don't actually show up, and it's just not nice because I'm doing this for free. So I am excited to talk to you. We have a couple goals today. The goal number one is we need to figure out if we are the right fit to work together. And the way we're going to do that is you're going to watch this video, and then I'm also going to get to interview you when we have our call. The next thing is I want to scare you away. I want to make you quit and not want to play college soccer, because then mom and dad, we don't have to worry about any of this. And if you're not watching this with mom and dad, please go get mom and dad and pause the video. If your mom and dad and your athlete is not with you, I would very much like you to watch it with them, because I'm trying to scare them away so they don't need to work with me anymore or work with anybody, and they can just play soccer for fun. Now, if I don't scare you away, or you've seen that, what I've just said, and you still want to work with me, then the next thing is I want to show you how I work and the price. It varies a little bit, but for the most part, I'm going to give you exactly what you're looking for. And as a junior, these are the exact steps you have to take. Now, as a junior, we know that this is your time to shine. There is no should have you started earlier, potentially. There is maybe you're too late. I don't know. We're going to talk, but there is no debate that it is time to do the recruiting process because of where you are in your age. So what does it look like to work with me? The first thing is you will be getting a drive, and your drive will look like this. This Google Drive has everything that we need to do for this recruiting process. You will have videos on how to get better at soccer, but that is not my main job. My job is to help you get recruited. So to do that, I'm going to make all your highlight videos, additional video, every touch videos, social media videos. I'm going to create a list of schools for you, a D1 list, a top academic list, depending on your grades. I'm also going to make a list based off your majors. So I'm going to create a bunch of lists for you, and they get updated pretty consistently. And then you're going to have a pamphlet. This is for showcases that we show you how to do that. And then we're also going to have your top list of schools always at the front of our mind. And so this way we can keep track of, did they email us? Have we emailed them? Follow-up second, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this Google Drive is amazing because it's got this document. Now, this document is kind of how we keep track of everything that we do together. And every time we do it, this is a recent student, we record the meeting so you know what it is we went over, and we write the date and what we did together, just so that way you always know what we were doing and what we were up to each and every time. And then these are the steps that you'll see. Each step of the process is a little bit different. And this student just joined us, so they've only had one meeting, but this is another student who's been working with us for a long time. And you can see that we do a lot of meetings, and it is mandatory that you meet with us every week in the first month, mandatory. In this student's case, we recorded the meeting. He had to text with Brown. He had to call UCSB. He had to work on the USL2 thing. He had a call with Colgate. All these schools he already spoke to and came to his game. Dartmouth, we're talking to him. So Princeton, we're talking to him. So in this world, I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm your dating coach. I tell you what to say and how to say it. Now, when it comes to the steps of the process, these are the steps. I got to look at your video. So I know that in your video, I will have already watched it. And if you're seeing this video, it means I like your video and I think there's potential. But we need to talk about what level you could potentially aim for, both what I think and what other college coaches will think. But I also probably know you have to fix your video. You have to make more video, something we're going to have to change. Now, the email system is particularly one of my proud inventions. I invented it. I'm the only one who has access to this. I'm the only one who bothered with it, took my life savings. Is basically what I can do is I can click on boys or girls. I can click on select all. There's every single college coach in the country. Click write email. Click dear #coach, #genuine, #school, and it will automatically insert the name for every coach. And when you press send, it will go with the correct name and the correct genuine sentence with the correct school to all of these schools. So within a touch of a button, we can email everybody very quickly from your own Gmail. And that's the secret between me and other companies, is it's from your own Gmail account. Then every time you receive an email, it will remind you, hey, this school did not email you back yet. Should you follow up with them? Then every time you receive an email, it will automatically categorize it into the following categories. Was it genuine? Was it a generic? Was it your first one? Was it a follow-up? Follow-up number 2, phone call, visit, etc. Then every time you get invited, the system will read your email with your help and go, did we get invited to camp? Yes or no? And if we did, was it genuine? Was it not? And we can take extra notes and whatnot about each school. Then you have this little robot, and this is like ChatGPT, but for college soccer, and it's only trained by me. So not by the internet, only by me. It has my videos, my information, the way I write emails. And what's cool is if you were to ask it, like, when is the UCSB ID camp, for example, it will tell you, here's the UCSB ID camp, and here's when it is, and here's what you need to do to prepare for the camp. It's literally ChatGPT, but only for college soccer. And it's using my voice. Like, if you ask ChatGPT, like, what's the difference between MLS Next and ECNL? It thinks like MLS Next is pro, and it thinks ECNL is elite California National League, and it just doesn't know because it just draws from the internet. This is trained specifically by CollegeSoccerGuy, me. So it's a helpful tool. Now, it's not going to do everything for you, but it is very helpful as we do this process. The next thing is, we have to pick your camps for you because that's really important. And then I got to do an audit. I have to see what you've already done or what you plan on doing so I can fix it. And then your club soccer, maybe your coach is going to help you. Maybe they're not being helpful. Maybe I have to tell you what to say to that coach to help you communicate with them. I don't know, but my job is to help you figure it out. Then I'm going to create your list like I showed you. But the whole point of this, and this is really important, I'm going to ask you this question when we talk. Do you believe that academics come first? And if you say no, that academics don't come first, we're not the right fit, and I don't want to work with you. What you're supposed to say is, yes, Zev, academics do come first. And I played pro soccer, and I had a great experience, but I'm so glad my mom made me go back to school for my master's degree. And I was playing JV soccer as a junior in high school with no aspects of I had aspirations, but no prominent interests from school saying I could play Division I soccer one day. And I went on to play D1 and got a full ride and was an All-American and then played pro. And the reason I'm so passionate about this recruiting process is I worked really hard off the field to get that interest. I wasn't playing for the best club teams. And because of my hard work, I ended up, getting a full ride and playing Division I and eventually pro. And I want to teach you what I did and what I've since done with many other students, how we do that. Part of this, though, is to make sure, I should say the biggest part, we both agreed academics come first. But if you don't like your coach, this is all for nothing. And I feel really strongly about this because my father had a heart attack when I was in college, and my college coach was my father, who I could lean on. And I met my significant other at college, and it changed my life. My brother, on the other hand, had a horrible, horrible experience. And when my wife, my future wife, and I talk about it, we feel so bad for Ari because Ari's my brother, because his coach was just a terrible human. And he actually got fired recently for being a drunk on campus. And had I known what I know now, I could have steered Ari away from, frankly, he was abusing himself, and it was a whole family deal. And it was really, really depressing. And as you know, if you pick the wrong coach, it can be really dangerous because the coach brings in a group of people that you tend to become friends with. And if they're not nice, it's not good. And your coach themselves can be very abusive, both emotionally and physically. We ran into the ground, but our coach did care about us. Some coaches do not care. So with that in mind, the whole point of this is to make sure we find the right coach. Now, the part that you really want to know is the price and what it's like to work with me versus, say, other companies. So here are other companies. You've heard of probably NCSA, Sports Recruit, Scouting Zone, I would think at this point. If not, I'm introducing you to them. These are other bigger companies that basically say, if you're on our platform, you're going to get recruited. And the truth is, and I just cut off a call just a few moments ago from a family literally telling us, look, college coaches hate hearing from NCSA. If you want to go to what's called a USCAA school, which is a small Christian school, go use NCSA, you'll be fine. If you want to go to an NCAA top academic school or an NCAA school, you cannot use NCSA. So, and that's even if you don't work with me, you cannot use their system. The college coaches hate getting emails from them. It doesn't come off genuine. It doesn't work. So with me, what's the difference is I edit all your videos. They will edit 2 of your videos and they will not do a great job, unfortunately. I have the email system from your own email account. That is the secret to this particular method. I need to speak to you every single week in the very first month and every single week after that, if necessary. They will talk to you twice a month if you're lucky, and it'll be a phone call. Mine is a Zoom meeting. We share screens. We work through every step together. And if in the first 3 months of working with me, you're not being genuinely recruited by a school you want to go to, I will refund you. Once you're in a contract with them, you are stuck, and you're stuck for life. And I know that because when I work with students and they want to work with me, they go, well, we have NCSA. Can we get out of that contract? And I say, you can't. You are stuck. You cannot get out of that. And if that's you and you are stuck, there are still some ways I can help you despite being stuck, and we could talk about that. But the goal is that you work with me and I can prevent you from working and getting stuck with a system that doesn't work. Or even if you don't want to work with me, I can steer you away from them because that is a problem. Okay, so now what does it look like to work with me on a day-to-day? So the first thing is you're going to get a coach plus me. So your meetings will not be with me. Your Zoom meetings will be with your coach who's worked with me for many years and is a professional at this. This is their full-time job. And it's important because I am very busy editing all your videos, figuring out which ID camps to go to, figuring out what positions every coach needs so I can get back to you on that. I have to go through your game video so I can give you a game review and make you a better soccer player. And then the big piece, which is happening now, is the NCAA rules are changing very aggressively for the first time in like 25 years. So there's a new junior college rule, which will be really impact you as a junior. And we can talk about it on our call, but it will be a big deal. And if you don't know what it is, basically they made it so junior college eligibility doesn't go against you. We can talk about that. They cut the roster for NCAA Division I schools. There's new rules now all the time. So I have to go to conferences and sit on calls for hours and almost like a person at the White House who just listens in to figure out what is happening in the Senate. That's like my new kind of part-time job. So I have to be there at those calls, or I have to show up in person and talk to college coaches and go, how will that affect you? Because it's going to affect every school differently. So I'm busy working for you, but over here, your coach is who you will talk to every single week. Then you will see me though on Discord. You can chat with me as much as you want. Mom and dad, you will have a channel just for you and I without your son or daughter. And then we'll have another channel for all of us together as a family so we can all communicate. I need to edit all your videos. I have to go through game video review. You guys saw the Google Drive and the AI system. And then if you're not being genuinely recruited in the first 3 months, then I refund you. And in your case, 98% of our students have received a minimum of $60,000, upwards and $250,000, which is, of course, very exciting and makes me very proud. We just got a message from a family. I'm just going to pull it up on my text message. This is my live messaging. Where this lovely family, who I am very proud to have worked with, they just their daughter got $100,000 in scholarship, and this is her on FaceTime talking about it. And the dad was saying we can use the 100K to take me on a trip somewhere and maybe go watch their daughter play soccer. So obviously that means a lot to me, and that's the goal. We want you guys to be happy. Now, the reason it's 98%, not 100%, is because some students get into Harvard or an Ivy League school, a very high academic, and I've expressed to them that they're not the level to play soccer there. We will still reach out to them in hopes of getting their attention, but I will always tell you to go to an academic school first, as opposed to pursuing soccer. High academics is where academics for me will always come first in your recruiting process. Now, my job is to create a problem where you hopefully get into whatever school you want to get into, but also there's an opportunity to play soccer. And at the end of the day, if you do end up getting into a top academic school, I want you to have the feeling of, I did everything I could to play college soccer, and I'm happy with the school I'm going to. At the end of the day, I want you to be happy with where you're going to school so you can have an experience that's amazing like mine, unlike what my brother had to go through. So that is to say, just to be very clear about the pricing, this is how the pricing works. It's $4,997, unlimited videos, unlimited Zooms, unlimited texting, the 3-month money back guarantee, the email platform, the Google Drive, everything else. And we're a yearly service. Now, if you're receiving this video, it's December 26th. I make this video like depending on the year. So this time next year, you will be done with the process. So we will only be with you for this period of time. But the reason I say it's per year is there are some new NCAA rules coming into play. So let's say you need us for another year, then the price is the same. Having said that, that should not be the case for you. And 99.9% of our students after the year no longer need us. You keep the email system for life. You keep the Google Drive for life. You have all of our videos. You know how to do the recruiting process at this point with my knowledge, and you no longer need us. Now, let's say you go, hey, Zev, it's been a year and we need your help. Can we create like a plan? Of course. We create a custom plan. You're grandfathered in, and we'll create a model for you. Like if it's a one-time call, I'm pretty reasonable. If it's like a month, we'll figure something out to make it work. So that way we can help you and get where you need to go. Thank you so much for listening. This is when I would ask you, why do you think you're a good fit to work with me? And this is when I would expect son or daughter to tell me why they're committed to this process, because I only want to work with people that are over the moon excited. Now, the last piece to this is because of the limited number of students I work with, I must know if you want to work with me within the next 24 hours of our phone call. So the goal is on our call, when we first get on, I'm going to tell you, hey, we have to decide by the end of today's call if we're going to work together. And the reason is I cannot help everybody as much as I want. And I will limit the number of juniors specifically I work with, because one, I like working with students who want to prioritize education, and those schools who have good education are done earlier. So I cannot help people once it hits a certain point. And the other thing is I want to work with people that are really excited to work with me. If I'm on this call with you, I'm theoretically very excited to talk to you because I liked your video and I liked the information you put. and I want you to be equally as excited to work with me. And that's how normally we can be successful. The last thing I just want to say is I really appreciate you watching this video. When we have the call, I will be able to answer many of your questions. That is the goal, but it's a 15-minute call. So the real purpose of the call is to figure out if we're the right fit to work together long-term, so I can help you through the recruiting process and get to our end goal of you being happy and getting a scholarship to a school you want to go to. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to talking to you soon.